Welcome to Dutchess and Her Dukes, a podcast where I speak to New York City hustlers in pursuit of their dreams. I'm Dutchess, and these are my Dukes.
I'm a Duke.
Yes, you are. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and what you're all about?
Yeah, my name is Drew Hayes. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa, now based out of New York. And I'm a singer-songwriter, producer, actor extraordinaire.
I didn't know you were an actor, too.
Yeah, musical theater actor.
Oh, did you go to college for music?
I didn't, but I started doing it in high school and is part of why I chose New York to move out to so that I could pursue that as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So my first question is, how did you get into music?
It's kind of just something I've always done. I think my being into music precedes my memory. And so
wow.
I think I just was doing it before I was even conscious that I was doing it. And so I guess I just grew up and was writing songs since I was 4.
That's such a beautiful answer. I'm a writer, so I like that. I'm not going to steal that answer,
yeah.
but
it's hard to pinpoint when you started
when did I
doing
become a storyteller?
Right.
I've always been a storyteller.
You can't pinpoint
I remember when I started reading and then writing, but you're right.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure I could write before I could read. Maybe, I guess. So.
You could write before you could read?
Well, I wasn't writing books, but I was coming up with silly little songs.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up in Iowa? All I know about Iowa, to be honest with you, is that, Iowa Writers Workshop. And
yeah.
That's the most famous thing that I know about.
Do you know where it is geographically? Because I meet people here sometimes and they think it's in the South.
Isn't it more in the middle?
Yeah, Midwest.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It is.
Why do people think it's the South?
I don't know.
I thought you were gonna ask me specifically. I was like, fuck,
no,
I'm so bad with geography. I know it's Midwest, but
I wasn't trying to quiz you and put
No,
you on the spot.
it's good. It's good.
But I just think it's interesting because a lot of people don't know where it is, or they think it's Idaho or Ohio. They mix it up. But I grew up in the suburbs, so it kind of just feels like Jersey a little, suburban Jersey, I guess is the best way to compare it. Nothing like New York at all.
But nothing is like New York.
Nothing is. It's crazy. Yeah.
So you've been here for how long?
I moved here in late 2022 or the summer of 2022.
Okay, so we're coming
it's
up in
been
the third
almost
year.
3 years. Yeah.
Wow,
it's
and
flown by.
Well, I know. I've been here for 13 years, so
13 years.
I don't even know when the time went. Yeah. But what made you decide to come here?
Well, I originally grew up kind of wanting to go to LA. It's kind of just where I always thought I would end up, and then COVID happened, and then I graduated, and so I was I can't really move anywhere right now. And then my brother, who is a jazz saxophonist, he was getting his graduates at Manhattan School of Music.
Oh, very cool.
And so he was out here a year before me, and we were at Christmas, at the dinner table, after Christmas, and he was you should just move here too. And I was okay.
Why not?
I never really thought about that, but sure.
Wow.
And then the next summer,
I
did it, yeah.
I think that's the best way to make decisions
it
without thinking. Just do
no
it.
Thinking.
100%.
Jump into it.
Yeah, that's how basically all my major decisions in life. But did you ever go to LA to visit? Or?
No, I've still never been there.
I'll be very curious what your thoughts are.
I really want to go. I know so many people that are from there.
Yeah, my best friend, actually, we were talking earlier today. She is from LA, and I've been to LA a couple of times. I don't want to say anything to you because I don't want to influence your perception of it, but it's a very strange place. It's very beautiful, but very strange.
It seems like it might be even more strange than here.
The vibe, and I don't mean the people, it's just this, the energy of the space itself, the place itself. I'm not talking about the city and cars and fancy, just I don't know, it sounds like I'm a witch. The energy coming out of the ground, I don't know, it's very beautiful, but I always feel so much darkness where I'm in LA.
Oh, darkness.
Yeah, it's like dark energy. I don't know why, because everything is so gorgeous. It's like one of the
Yeah.
most beautiful
It's
places
almost
I've
like
ever seen.
it's too good to be true type of thing.
Nice, yes.
Because at least here we have like awful winter.
It's gross. It's dirty
There's,
everywhere.
like, trash
Stinks
everywhere.
in the summer. It's amazing.
There's
it's
at
like
least-
authentic.
It keeps you in check a little bit.
It's
It's
very
not like
real.
sunny all the time.
So yeah, it's I don't know if you're familiar with this writer, Bret Easton Ellis.
No.
He wrote American Psycho, that he's
Oh, okay.
pretty much the most famous for. But like his first novel is called Less Than Zero, and it talks about this young man who's like 21, let's say, who comes back to LA from college on the East Coast and is just like, it's about that. And I was like, oh my God, I totally agree. It's just like, he's addicted to drugs. He like hangs out with really rich friends. But it's like, it's beautiful, but there's also this like absolute nihilism in it. So anyway.
Yeah, I feel like the one thing like I really like driving, and I like don't get to drive here. So I feel like that's one thing that like if I was in LA, I could maybe at least drive.
For sure. I mean, Rick, you drive, right?
Do you drive, Rick?
No? Not here. I don't drive. I don't drive, and I really would like to, but it's so expensive here.
I just
and
and the traffic like.
it makes no sense unless I feel like you live maybe like deep in Brooklyn or Queens or the Bronx,
Yeah.
but like you're in Harlem, so you're basically in Manhattan.
Yeah, exactly.
really
I don't
need
need to. I live
Yeah.
right by the train. I don't need to drive anywhere.
So how do you like living there?
I like it a lot. I was at first I was more like upper Harlem. I was not like completely top. I
East
was
or
like
West?
West.
Okay.
Started out on like 135th. And now I'm like right by the Apollo.
Oh, nice.
So
That's like 125th.
yeah, like right by that like
Oh, it's awesome
train
there.
station. Yeah. So I really like that like strip that's right there of like all the shops and stuff.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm kind of like in it.
Yeah, and people are like usually playing music, right? The
yeah.
locals. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really cool place. But there's so many places like there's so many different neighborhoods I want to live in.
Like where? What would your dream neighborhood be?
I think I'm like an Upper West Side, maybe, or
Close
like
to
a
the park?
like a village. Yeah, I mean I'm kind of close to the park. Like I'm close enough.
That's so awesome.
But I'm like closer to Morningside. But yeah, maybe like the village. I don't know. I think I need to feel it out a little bit.
Yeah,
I need
for
to
sure.
I need to try some different places and
No, but that's so exciting.
see.
So talk to me about your music. First off, like how would you classify, if at all, like your music? And I know, your Instagram page says like R&B, or maybe that was no, because I was listening to your music on Apple Music, so maybe that was like the Apple Music descriptor. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but I want to hear from you, like how really would you?
Yeah, I mean,
Describe
I would kind of like just like blanket term pop,
And like that.
but I kind of like to mix in just like R&B, singer songwriter folky stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes, some of my stuff has like more of an indie sound, dance pop,
I love that. I love
some
that
pop
stuff.
rock. I don't know. I kind of like to mix in different things, but it all kind of sounds like it's all kind of stays down a pop lane. Mm-hmm. So.
And who are your biggest influences, if you could pinpoint those, and then also talk to me about like maybe current influences?
Yeah. My biggest influences, like growing up, especially, I think like
Mm-hmm.
Ed Sheeran. I've
Bruno
always liked a
Mars.
lot.
Justin Bieber's a big one.
Do you know who Rule is?
He lives in the village.
Not J.
in
Rule.
LA.
Not Ja Rule.
Yeah?
Like Rule.
Yeah.
Struggling now, by the way.
I'm not good at saying
I
it.
don't think so. Rule.
Yeah.
Great name.
Yeah, he's like
Ooh.
an Australian artist that is like, it's kind of he's been around for a while, but he released an album a couple years back that is just like still on repeat. Who else? I recently have been getting into Sammy Rash. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't. I listen way too much trap and rap music. I don't. I need to like expand my genres now.
Yeah, I think I just like came across him the other day, but I've been
Oh, okay,
I've been
so
listening
it's-
to
he's new to you
like
also.
this week
Oh,
or like
awesome.
in the last couple weeks.
I love that.
Yeah, who else? I've been listening to like Gracie Abrams. I always listen to a lot.
Nice.
Um, there's this artist, John Michael Howell,
Okay.
who I like recently discovered also in the last couple of weeks. You know when you like go on a walk and you just like have it on shuffle and you find like 5 new
Yes.
artists?
I do that. I don't. Do you listen to Apple or Spotify?
Spotify.
Okay, so I'm on Apple, and I usually get like, oh, new music or like recommended for you. So I occasionally find a gem there. But one thing that I did when I moved to Brooklyn, when I first moved to New York and I moved to Brooklyn, I would like walk around the hood with a Shazam on. And I discovered the greatest music, and I really educated myself. And not just like contemporary, but like OG, like from the 70s and 80s, like people just like blasting music from. That's my greatest recommendation. I've never talked about it actually before. This is my greatest recommendation for anyone out there. Just like pay attention to your surroundings.
Start Shazamming
and Shazam it. Don't be afraid of people in the hood. Just like say hi. What are you listening to? Shazam it. Fuck it.
Bond over the music. Yeah. I was at the Harlem Tavern. Like not too long ago, and like the DJ was just playing banger after banger, and I didn't know any of them, and so I was just Shazamming the entire time.
I used to be ashamed of it, but now I'm like, fuck it. That's how like I was looking at my apartment, and there was this girl. She looked really young, and she was walking around like she looked so cool. She must have been like maybe 17, 18, and she was smoking a blunt and listening to her speaker, and that song was so weird and unique. I'll play it. It's trap, but like I've never heard it. It was such a weird sound. I want to find out what this artist is, so I Shazammed it. It's not even like that big of an artist, but I loved the song, so you never know.
Yeah, it's always so funny when people are like playing music like out loud.
Yeah,
because they're trying to like hijack your experience.
But
it's like it wouldn't be the same without it. Like I know. Like me, I was on a run with my brother yesterday. We were like running through Central Park. Yeah,
me too.
We're doing like a half marathon next week. Next weekend. In Brooklyn? Yeah, the Brooklyn.
I know that one.
I'm excited.
I'm so jealous. I was gonna run it, but I just like didn't train enough.
Yeah, so we were just like we were running, and this guy was just he was like on a bike, just cruising along. He had like his speaker like on his shoulder with one arm, and then biking on the other, just blasting Ariana Grande. And it's like
amazing.
It just matched the vibe, I guess, of
so
our
great.
run.
That's so great. So I was actually going to ask you, since you mentioned that your brother went to school for music, and he was or is still a jazz musician. Mm-hmm. Like, do you feel like that may have also influenced you as an artist? Yeah,
I think jazz definitely influenced me because like growing up, it was always in our house.
Yeah, I grew up with that too.
He was always playing it in the background, and then I would like go to all his jazz things.
That's cute.
And so like I like to put little jazz hints of like weird chords and all that type of stuff in my music, and yeah, I mean it was always playing in our house, so
beautiful.
Always.
So talk to me about your creative process. I know that you have a new single coming out on May 16th, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it May 16th?
Or 17th? No, I definitely wrote it down. 16th.
May 16th.
Yes. I was desperately trying to play it on Apple. I'm like, dummy, like it's not out yet. But
there's a little snippet on my Instagram.
Very cool. Yeah.
But yeah, May 16th. Paper Airplane is the name.
Love the name.
And my creative process, I mean, it can start like in a few different ways. A lot of times it'll like start from one of those walks where I'm listening to a bunch of new music, and I'll get some new ideas or like some new spins, or like I'll start thinking about something in a way I haven't before, and like an idea or a title will come to me or something. And a lot of other times I'll just kind of I'll open a new project, start playing chords, or come up with a drum beat, and just kind of like build the song from there and see where it takes me. But
that's cool.
I think this one specifically, I've had like the concept of Paper Airplane in the back of my mind for a while, Because when growing up, I always made paper airplanes out of everything. Like any piece of paper, I just wanted to make a paper airplane. I'll be making a paper airplane throughout the process of the rest of this podcast. Stay tuned.
On a freaking paper towel.
On a paper towel. A paper airplane towel.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. You have to watch till the end. And I just like kind of associated myself with them in a way. And then I got this paper airplane tattoo.
Oh yeah, I saw that
on my hand.
Man, that's beautiful.
And it's my favorite tattoo. And
is it new?
It's it's like I got it like a year ago or something. It's one of the more recent ones I have, but I've just always loved them. And then I had like the concept of that I wanted to make a song out of it. But I didn't quite know what spin I wanted to be on the song or like what I wanted it to mean. And then, you know, as I've like been reflecting on just like growing up and just like living life, the concept of like taking flight and just like taking on your own wings as you grow up, kind of came to me. And that's why the cover art is like me as a baby, with like a bunch of paper airplanes, floating around.
So cute.
Yeah, and it's just the song is kind of just about growing up and taking on your own journey.
That's so great. That's such a great response. I always ask artists and they find it hard to like walk me through the process, or they say, "Oh, I just go to the studio and I start writing," or like I need to be in a mood or whatever, which is so valid and so amazing. But it's really nice to hear like how you get inspired by like walking around listening to different musicians or like seeing what's out there, and then like that's cool. I mean, I'm trying to relate it to writing when you're, you know, reading different books. That's exactly how you get inspiration. Or like you can go to a museum and look at something and be inspired. But my next question would be, was there any like pivotal moment or moments in your life that made you want to write like right there, right then, a new song, or like express like whatever it was that you were feeling? Maybe it was pain, maybe joy, that you like had to write this song.
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of every song that like has any type of substance is like that.
Yeah.
If it's not about, if it's not coming from that place, then most of the time it's probably not worth like exploring to the point where like it's gonna get done and then get like released. I mean, other times it's just some of the songs are just a vibe, and I like writing from that place too. But
I love songs that are just a vibe. Just like,
I
love that shit.
I love songs that are just a vibe too. But yeah, I think like especially like with this song, I mean, a pivotal moment, like when I moved here, was like a huge moment that inspired a lot of the songs on my last album. Like I have a song called "This Is Growing Up," similar in meaning to "Paper Airplane," but it's kind of a different, you know, perspective. And yeah, I mean, that was a big moment that came with a lot of changes and a lot of reflection and a lot of like new things to navigate. And I think like all writing comes from processing whatever's going on and like new things you're experiencing.
How do you write? Do you write like, do you sit down and write by pen, or do you like write on your phone, or both?
I mean, nowadays I usually write just on the notes app in my phone.
Seriously, me too. And I'm supposedly a novelist. And like, I have a friend who published a novel that was written exclusively in his notes.
Yeah.
Like, people do that right now. It's better that than nothing, right?
I do. I have like a million notes on my phone. But I used to always do it by like just like notebook. I used to like when I was little, I would just lay on the floor and like write in my notebook.
I still do that.
And I do that every once in a while.
At 38.
But I tend to like, I think I'm more likely to lose the like piece of paper than I am to like lose like a note on my phone.
That's true.
But I do still have, I have like almost every single songbook that I've ever had. I still have them like all in my studio.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Yeah, like I have like my very first one. It was like, it's just like this little notebook. It has a D on it, and I won it in like a 4th grade raffle.
That's
it was
adorable.
like they would give us like good behavior slips basically. So like if you were like being good, or if you like were being quiet during reading time, they would give you like a green slip, and then you could put it in the bucket, and then at the end of the week there were like prizes, and you would draw out of the bucket, and if like your name was drawn, you could like pick what you wanted to do. And I saw the notebook and I was like, that's mine.
Oh my God, that's
It has,
amazing.
yeah, it's like has the D on it.
Yeah, it's your name,
Yeah,
Drew.
it was, and that was like my first songbook.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How old were you?
That was 4th. I was like 10. Yeah. So it was like the first like, I had obviously written songs before then, but it was the first like.
Obviously, before I was.
Before
5.
I was 10. If you're not writing songs when you're 3 years old, what are you doing? No,
Get with the program.
But no, they were always on just like loose sheets of paper. So it's kind
Yeah, I know
of, it's
what you
fun to look back. It's like the first like kind of like concise, like physical, like work of.
When you're famous,
work
people
of
would
me.
like, pay like millions of dollars to
Yeah.
get this notebook.
Yeah, no one's ever going to see that notebook, but
It's secret.
it's top secret. It says do not read on it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't make the rules.
Enough said.
Enough said.
Okay, that's really awesome. What I wanted to talk to you about too is your life outside of music. Like, what do you do? I already know that you're a personal trainer.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did you get into that, and like how do you manage your life doing this and that and like all the other things?
Yeah. Well, I grew up playing sports my whole life. I actually was like probably going to be an athlete before I like music kind of like took over.
It's crazy. I met a lot of people, and not a lot, but a few rappers, the same story.
Yeah. Sometimes they go hand in hand because like.
It's just like, but sports teaches you so much, like
Yeah.
discipline and like, I don't know, you're working for yourself in a
Yeah.
way. So
Anything I know about like discipline and like hard work, it all comes from growing up and playing sports.
I love that, and I also love that this is like the conversations we're having that like, I feel like destroy the common misconception that all artists need to be like alcoholics and like drug addicts. It's
Yeah.
not the case
Yeah.
at all, or not always.
Not always. I mean, I think especially if you're like performing a lot, you need to like stay fit and all that.
Hell yeah.
But it's also just like would probably consider it like my main hobby outside of music is like working out.
Yeah.
Like running and lifting, obviously.
Talked about right. So did you ever? No, you were an athlete, so you didn't run track.
I didn't run track because it was like kind of during baseball season, and I played baseball.
Oh, you played baseball.
Yeah.
I don't know why I assumed like it would be football, but
Football. I played football.
Oh, also.
Football and baseball,
Oh,
and
very
then
cool.
basketball for a while. But yeah, So I didn't run track.
But now you're into running.
Now I'm into running. I started running, like more like longer distances, when I was like 16ish. I kind of got into
Okay.
it.
That's young. That's,
Yeah, and so I've been
for long
doing,
distance, I feel like that's like
Yeah, not like super long. I just
Well, when I was running track at 11, to me like 1,500 meters was like long distance.
Yeah.
As a kid.
What is that like? Oh, is that almost a mile?
It is basically yeah, exactly. It's
I'm not
like
good at the conversion.
Like 1.6 is a mile.
Yeah.
1,500 is like 1.5. So
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, yeah. I mean, I wasn't running like super long distances, and so like the half marathon that I'm doing next week will be like the longest.
That would be your first half.
Like I've done the half one time, but not in like an actual race setting.
That's awesome. I'm so excited
so-
for you.
Yeah.
I ran a few marathons. And I don't love marathons. Half marathon is like my favorite distance.
Yeah, I can't imagine running an actual marathon.
You can. If you can do a
But
half, you
that's
can do
gonna
a
be
full.
my next
But it's
endeavor after this
It's
is
just
gonna be a full
it's
marathon.
very time consuming though, because like
Yeah.
you need to put like a lot of like miles weekly and
Lots
I
of
guess,
miles, and you have to take longer to like rest. which I'm not.
It really makes you tired.
I'm
for
not
real.
good at
like, and
resting,
you're gonna be
so
yeah, no, me too. But the fact that you're lifting, it's gonna help you a lot because you have strength already. Like my weakness is that like I can run every day, but strength is like I have to force myself.
Well, if you need a trainer in the gym, I got you.
Thank you so much. So cool. I love athletes. I love athletes and musicians. So this is great. But what's your, like, I'm curious, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but I'm curious about your paces. What's your, like, easy pace? And then, like, do you ever do, like, harder workouts, like speed or tempo?
Yeah, well, my fastest mile to date is, like 5:40-ish.
Nice.
My brother's running it with me. We're going to run it at, like, 10 for the half.
Oh, yeah. You can do it easy.
Yeah, we'll be chilling. We'll be cruising.
Yeah, that's
We're gonna have a grand old time. Hopefully, it's not like
But
raining.
I feel like, you know what? Like, if you feel like going harder, go harder. You can go.
Well,
harder.
we'll go harder at the end if we're feeling good.
Yeah.
But I don't want to we don't want to start too hot.
Yeah.
And
No.
then-
That's so true. I with the marathon, I remember my running coach was like, the race starts at mile 17.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
feel good at mile 16, 17, that's when you can start speeding up.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, you maintain, like, whatever pace you're used to, and then you go harder. That's awesome.
Yeah. We'll go harder as it.
Have you been training for it?
Yeah, we decided to do it like last Christmas, so we've been kind of training like since then.
So
Specifically
for the last
for-
4 months, basically.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my
like,
God,
all
you're
year.
ready.
We're chilling. We did an 11 mile the other day.
Oh, you're gonna.
We're
be
feeling good. We're on the decline now, so that we can start to get ready.
No, that's right. Like, you shouldn't even, like, maybe just go for, like, a couple of easy runs.
I've got
and that's
like I'm gonna do one tomorrow. I'm gonna do one on Thursday.
It's so
Maybe
funny because I've been
feeling good.
training, like, basically since 2018. I started taking my running more serious. I quit drinking and, like, I try to, like, change my lifestyle a little bit.
Yeah.
So I am such a psycho that if I don't go through, like, a proper, like, at least because last year I slowed down. I was like, I need a break. I started this podcast. I need, like, a mental break from running because I was training so hard for 5 years. Then I started getting back into it in August, and I'm like, now I'm tempted to run it with you guys but I didn't.
Sign up still.
I may like. I can run 13 miles now. It's just
Yeah.
like I won't perform as well as I would like to. So that's what prevented me from running a couple of races 2 months ago or so. But I'm like, maybe I should just do it for fun and run 10-minute miles with you guys.
Yeah, you should. You totally should. I mean, I think like I've been running for like so many years. I was like, I probably could kind
You
of just
could.
like do it any day.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
more about like
But it's better to
just
train for it.
the training for it is like the actual payoff. And it's funny you say
know,
that like
the process is so special.
it's funny you say that you need like a mental break from running because I feel like running is like my mental break from
Life.
everything. Yeah, from life.
It's same. That's why it was like it's very meditative for me, and
Yeah.
it's like very. I need it to like survive. But when I said like a break from running, I like break from training, maybe more serious.
Training. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Like I still ran, but I would do like 3 times a week. It's like not training, you know. So I was like just doing a few miles here and there for like last spring and last summer, and now I'm like,
It is different
gotta
when
go
you're
harder.
training for like longer distances.
it's different.
I'm excited to just be able to just like go on my like 3-4 mile run instead of like
I know
10
that
instead of my
exact-
10 mile
You see,
run.
that's what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
that's the break that I had to take, like
Yeah.
from like a specific training plan. I just like wanted to go like at my like leisure.
And I want to like I miss ice cream and I miss.
Oh, so you've been very like good about.
I've been trying to
nutrition.
be good. I've been trying to,
Really?
but I'm not. I mean,
No ice cream at all for how long?
I could have done better.
For how long? This is crazy.
Like since I decided to do it.
It's harder than quitting drinking for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ice cream. I feel like I'm specifically trying not to do ice cream because it's the one that I like. I'll sit and eat a whole like pint of it.
Easily.
Yeah.
Like that's
It's
what
just
I did on Friday.
it's the most slippery slope, and so that's
No,
why
you
I'm
can't have
like
one bite.
specifically like no ice cream. But I'm still like on the gummy bears and all
You
that.
need something. You need a little.
I need
think
something.
you need a little sugar. I think that's fine when you're running. You need a little bit. But when you were not running, like, training for this half marathon, when you just like lift, Do you also maintain like a specific diet?
I try to. I'm not being a very good trainer right now, but
No,
I mean,
that's great.
I try to as best I can, but I don't do very well, to be honest.
Yeah, my weak.
Because in my mind, I'm like
very bad.
the working out like makes up for my bad eating.
Oh, 1,000%. That's what I tell
But then
myself
it's like-
the whole time. But that's why I'm like,
But then it's like,
how
why
am I not leaner from running 60
why am I
miles a
not-
week?
why am I not leaner right now? And I'm like eating a whole cookie cake. I'm like,
Oh yeah, because I had McDonald's.
yeah,
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. And so how do you manage working out, and then making music? How do you, and then I want to hear also about your social life, maybe, or like other things that you do.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the perfect storm being a personal trainer, because you're kind of like in and out and you make your own schedule. So
right.
that's like the nice thing about it. And then you're already at the gym. So you can just work out.
Yeah. You showed up for yourself already.
Yeah, like if you're going to be, and you have to like be in shape, because no one wants a trainer that's not in shape.
I know.
So that's kind of just like how I maintain it. I mean, usually I like do my sessions, get my workout in, or go do my run, and then usually just like up all night making music.
How many times do we do workout?
Like six,
Nice,
yeah.
Nice.
And then I try to take a rest day. I'm not always the best at taking the rest day, but
Yeah.
I've honestly been kind of in a weird way working out less because of the half marathon, because
Oh, when you say workout, you mean like lifting and
Lifting,
like weights and all that
weights,
stuff.
and because I'm like doing less days of running, because I'm running longer and I need like longer recovery.
Exactly.
And then I'm like lifting less because I'm like want to like cut and be lean for the race,
That's
so that
what
I'm
it
not
is.
carrying around like all this extra unnecessary weight.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. Has always been my struggle. Like, how do I incorporate strength training into running? But it's just like such a different way of working out. Like when you're running, it's like you're complementing it. You're like trying not to get injured. It's like conditioning and strength, as opposed to like, let me get ripped.
Yeah, and it's also because I'm like, I was having this like weird knee thing happening last year.
Oh, no.
And so I wasn't like, I had a few months where I couldn't like really run. And so I like training for this, I was worried
This
that
happened
I
to
was
me when I
gonna-
first started running more
I
seriously.
think I'm pointing to the wrong, I think it was this knee.
Oh.
But
I'm touching both of
yeah,
mine.
I'm like, both my knees are messed up. I don't know. Yeah, and so then like the training, I've tried to be very like cautious, so that I don't get hurt before
Smart.
the
That's
race.
smart.
But we're almost in the clear. Yeah, and then like besides that, I pretty much spend like all my free time working on music, I guess.
Really?
Like
That's beautiful.
pretty much like I'm either like hanging out with friends or making music, or both at the same time.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly.
Which is, you know, the best part about it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I never have like a lack of time to make music, because it's just kind of happening. Like if I'm like somewhere else, I'm probably like thinking about it in my head instead of paying attention to like what's happening.
I know what you mean. But do you ever find yourself like stuck, or do you ever feel like you don't feel like making like as a writer, right? Like I have a compulsion to write. I can't fucking help it. It's a blessing and a curse the way I see it. So like, but I still like I'm thinking about it, but I don't feel like it, and like I can't force myself to. Do you ever experience that?
It happens a lot.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not the only one.
I like sometimes I'll try to start a project and it's just nothing is happening. It's the worst when that happens. Sometimes it's just not your day, and you have to just.
And that's when you take a walk and you go,
That's
shuffle.
when you take a walk.
Yeah.
That's when you take a walk and you throw on shuffle and you try to brainstorm some ideas.
Throw on that shuffle.
Throw on that shuffle. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you just burn out and you need like another day or whatever to think of some new stuff. It's also sometimes you're in like a flow state where you just want to come up with new ideas, and you don't want to actually like, you don't want to do the hard work on the ideas that you're already having.
My mind.
Yeah,
It's tough.
which it's funny you say that, because this Paper Airplane is going to be the kind of lead single of upcoming project.
Okay.
That I haven't like really announced or anything, but
Everybody. everybody.
Yeah, for everyone that's been everyone's been sending me letters and knocking on my door.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like had a whole project before that just like I kind of scrapped because it just kind of like ran its course, and it like I kind of didn't feel like it was like I was in that place anymore to like release it, which is like you can't give up on your baby, but
sometimes maybe like that is a stepping stone to create something new.
yeah.
And like I was in my writing group earlier today, and we're just talking about it. And like I have one friend who got it's very hard to get an agent in the writing. I hate the fucking writing like industry so much. It's very like snobby and cliquey. But one of my friends, she got an agent for her first novel, but then the agent couldn't sell it, and she's finishing a second novel. So like, and I kept asking her today, like, how? I mean, I've known about this for a long time, but because I'm in this process of like trying to sell mine now, I'm like, when did you decide to give up?
Yeah.
And I don't like. She's like, oh, I think I sent like 50 pitches or whatever, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Then I decided no. So that's interesting. I guess like everybody has a different threshold, but it may get to the point that you're just like over it. Like you can't look at it anymore. But to me, that's like, that means it's finished.
Yeah,
Doesn't
exactly.
mean I'm not bored with it. I just like, I don't want to edit it anymore. I'm like done with it.
Yeah, that's like, how many times am I gonna listen to the song before I put it out?
Because then you're just like, I feel like you're actually like trying to fix things that are good, and then you're gonna fuck it up even more.
And then you're making other songs, and you're like, well, now this is old to me, but like,
yeah, exactly.
if I'm not gonna put it out, what am I gonna do with it?
I feel you with like my short stories.
Yeah, and that's why like, you know, sometimes you're in a state where you're like just making a bunch of new things, but then right now I'm like buckling down on actually like putting it out before I make a whole other new project of songs that I am more excited about, because then the old ones just.
Do you feel stressed about, like, do you feel like nervous when you put something out? Like, not stress is a wrong word, just like excited, nervous.
Yeah, I mean, because
maybe stress out.
Stress, yeah, because then it's the song, it means something to you.
That's what it is. It's so personal.
And then, once everyone else's opinions of it come out, it's not, you have a different view of it, which is it's not always fun if it's not like. I
have another friend who got a very successful second book out now already too. Very successful. She said that when the first one came out, she was reading some reviews, and there were like, it caused her so much anxiety that she decided not to read any reviews at all. And stopped reading comments. Yeah,
I probably would do that too.
Because it was just not healthy for her mental.
Like, I think
it might be, I guess, helpful for some people, but I know some of my writer friends are laughing at the comments. If you can have that attitude, but I'm sure like not everybody has the same like thickness of their skin.
I think that I kind of have like can laugh about it. Because
paper plane made out of a paper towel. Yes.
The paper towel plane.
Paper towel.
I think I can kind of laugh about it, especially if it's like a funny comment. I kind of like appreciate a funny hate comment. But I also just kind of like, and even like growing up in sports is like, the other team is gonna like hate on you
and talk like trash, right?
Like I played quarterback and I would get sacked, and then like.
Oh, I thought it was like a New York thing.
They'd be like, "Lil Singer Boy" in my helmet or something, and it was like it was funny, and so I think I like grew that thicker skin, like growing up, and like putting out music as like a teenager when it's like obviously not good yet or anything.
And you're also like so raw, and
you're
like
so raw, and you're like,
and you're shy and embarrassed, all those feelings.
And you're like putting yourself out there, and like. People are like saying things. I think that like kind of helped me to to grow a thicker skin. That like, you know, now it kind of just like doesn't really matter to me.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the day, what's gonna change, right? Like, will their hateful comments change your, like, will they make you stop making music? No.
Yeah.
You know. Do you know who David Goggins is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so David Goggins in his second book said that he actually is so grateful to all his haters because they fuel him so much.
Mm-hmm.
And he does this thing, this is so crazy. He reads all the comments, the hateful comments, and he records them. He like reads them out loud to himself, and then he plays it to himself.
Yeah.
To fuel him to like, I'm like, this is so crazy.
Sometimes I write down stuff like that and put it like next to my computer.
For real?
Yeah. Because
Wow.
it helps like, you know, puts that chip on your shoulder to work a little bit harder.
Wow, give me an example.
Like just you know, anything someone says that would be like negative or that like would bother me, you could write it down so that you can look at it, that extra motivation every day.
I think that it sounds corny, but I'll say it anyway. If you get haters, it means you're doing something right.
Yeah. I mean, it's better to
Because people are jealous.
better than nothing.
No, like people are jealous and like, and
Yeah,
why are they bothered by your work? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
I
you're
mean,
doing something right. That means you're like stroke a chord, like you trigger something great. That's what art is all about.
Yeah. I mean, no one that's like focusing on themselves and like doing good for themselves is gonna hate on someone else. So
It's like so crazy.
yeah. I mean,
But what's your biggest dream?
my biggest dream, my biggest dream has always been to do like an arena tour. That's my my big dream. Yeah.
Will happen
Yeah.
soon. Wait, how
Yeah.
old are you? I didn't even ask.
I'm 22.
You're 22. I figured.
Yeah.
You're in your early 20s. Yeah, you have so much time.
Yeah. And I also want to go to space.
You want to go to space?
That's my other dream. Yeah.
Some women just go back.
Yeah, I know.
You saw that?
They beat me to it. I was jealous. Yeah. I was like,
Thank you so much for this interview. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure talking to you.
thank you so much for having me.
What's my name, by the way?
Dutchess.
There's mountains I can't climb, but all in due time she will take my hand and lead me over. There's darkness I can't face, but at the right time, right place, she's there with open arms and steady shoulders.